some men I talk with say that they can solve this problem on their own. While this may be true for them, it certainly wasn't true for me. I needed to share my trauma with the world before I could ever be free from porn. But men all the time ask me, so what strategies worked for you, Harley? How did you quit porn? What works for you? And this is something that I share with my audience all the time. I say, here's all the steps, here's all the information. You can go watch tons of YouTube videos, tons of tutorials. You can hear me talk about the things that worked and didn't work. And I've kind of broke it down into 5 main steps. And I'll go through them real quick. But the difference here is that when you're given information, sure, you can choose whether or not you want to make a change based off the information. But the difference between just reading information or watching a YouTube video or being inspired by something online, the difference between that and actually meeting with someone and having accountability is a huge difference. And that's kind of what this whole program is about. It's like, sure, you could honestly go through all 5 of these steps that I talk about, and you could get pretty far in your road away from porn. But the difference is that you don't have someone fighting in your corner the entire time. And that's why I think mentorship is honestly the hugest key to quitting porn. But here are 5 steps to start running away from porn today. First step is tell others about your goal of quitting. It really ties in with the idea of mentorship and accountability. But the difference is like, you could go tell your friends and family, but, they aren't always there in your corner unless they're a really great friend or a really great family member. Sometimes you have to still go through it on your own, no matter how many people you tell. And step 2 is kind of identify and understand your triggers. And sometimes you have to really start asking a lot of whys. Why was I horny in this moment? Why was I bored in this moment? Why was I in my room alone on my phone in this moment? Why did I not have other things on my calendar to fill my day and fill my time? Learning to understand your why behind your triggers is a really great step. But I'll keep relaying it back. It's you can ask why yourself, but you don't have someone who's holding you accountable to these triggers as often if you're doing it alone. Sure, you could go to a counselor. That's a really great strat. Or you could go to someone who is there and wants to help. Step 3 would be to build new habits that conquer the triggers. And that's actually kind of what rewiring your brain is. Typically, when you are horny, your coping mechanism to deal with said horniness is to jerk off to porn. But that's a cycling scenario, because you might be feeling depressed, you might be feeling lonely, you might be feeling bored. And as soon as you watch porn, you're now amplifying those feelings of negative emotion even farther. So now you're going to even be more stressed, more bored, even more lonely. And that's just not a good strategy. So what you got to do is try to rewire what your brain is going to think to do. It's if you feel that feeling of lack of connection, I'm going to call my friend. If you have the feeling of boredom, go outside and take a walk and listen to something interesting. Listen to music. Go on and get out of your room. It's instead of feeling hopeless and saying, well, I can't win, I always just get these triggers. It's when you aren't asking the question why, you're just going to keep getting defeated by the triggers. But if you actually understand them, you can actually walk around the triggers pretty easily. 4th step, this one is, in my opinion, is one of the biggest, and it's the identity piece. It's are you going to identify as someone who hates porn? Are you going to identify as someone who is known by your family and friends as someone who doesn't watch? You're known as the guy who people will not bring up the conversation about the hot chick online or the chick's boobs who's walking by. It's if you set yourself up to be a man who's not interested in those things and you tell the people around you that that's just not what you talk about, you're going to find yourself surrounded by people that are like-minded. If you are currently in a friend group when the main conversation is how hot the girl is on the other side of the room, but none of y'all have any confidence to go up to her, that's not a good circle to be in if you identify as a non-porn watcher, you're probably going to lose some friends, but you're probably going to find some deeper friends and attract a higher quality woman. So this, in my opinion, is a huge one. It's like if you feel that trigger, you can then fight it back and say, well, now I'm known as the guy who doesn't watch, so I won't watch. I can't watch. It's against my identity. I will be betraying myself. Finally, if you can meld all these together, you can maintain a porn-free life, from what I can tell. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what many men do if they identify as a non-porn watcher, understand their triggers, and have accountability. For me, my accountability is this podcast and this brand that I'm building, but a lot of people don't have that, and that's where I come in. I would love to be the person who holds you accountable and tries to inspire you to be better, because there might not be that many people in your corner fighting for you. Most men don't have that close of friends, and I would love to assist you in this journey. I'm looking forward to our call together.